Friends, it's been so stinking long. I have been doing finals. When I got home from Thanksgiving, it was, well, yeah, I got home from Thanksgiving and I had a ton of studying to do for finals. And then I had finals, and then it was time to come home for Christmas break. And I relaxed a little bit with my friends before coming here, and now I'm here, and so I'm making this video. Oh, and then when I got here, we went to Washington, D.C., and it was a lot. Now I'm back, and I'm going to be talking about rituals that I used to do, because that is something that, I mean, it provokes a lot of curiosity, definitely, but also it's helpful to recognize patterns from others, people that you can see in yourself and realize, yeah, they have a problem. I have a problem. I'm telling you, I have problems. And so if you have these common traits or these routines, then possibly, definitely look, be introspective and try to work past the denial that the eating disorder tells you to, and realize you have a problem. Because realizing you have a problem is a big step. But so there were a few that I had, and they changed throughout. My least favorite one, the one that makes me the saddest to think about, was for a good period of time, I have this like 60-ounce jug that I drink water out of sometimes. Not really anymore because I'm not sick and I don't really want to do that and I don't feel the need to do that. But what I would do is I would fill that with ice water and chug it, because ice water can burn calories. So I would already be freezing cold, because anorexia cold is the worst kind of cold, and I would chug it and become even more cold. So it would just be an endless cycle every day of just being incredibly freezing, and it would be during the winter, and I would be so miserable. That was my least favorite routine. There were routines of I had to have certain bites for each food, or I would have very, very strict rules on what times I could eat. I could not stray from those times even for a minute. I would watch the clock meticulously until the time struck whatever prescribed time I had in mind, and then I would eat a minuscule amount and then focus on the clock for the rest of the day, because I would not trust my body to tell me I was hungry. I would trust the clock to dictate when I should be eating, because I was always hungry. Of course, exercising every day, and that exercise had separate routines, and each machine that I usually used the Stairmaster. I would have routines on for each setting, and then I would never make it easier, but I would make it harder. And then when I made it harder, I would have to stick to that every day until it would get harder again. So it wasn't any relief. It was just always hurting me. Gum and coffee were big routines for me. Even if I didn't necessarily feel like having them, I would feel a need to use them because was scared to stray. I would try to have a prescribed amount of coffee. Even if I necessarily didn't want it, I would have it. It suppressed my appetite, but also it gave me energy. So even if I didn't feel like having the coffee, if I thought the coffee was gross, I would still have the coffee. And of course it would be black. I'm realizing now that I could name a myriad of different things and go on for hours about my different routines, but the most controlling factor throughout all of this, and the reason why that I, am opposed to such routines now, is because of the time routine that I had and having a schedule for each day. I could recite to you my schedule, but I won't do that because I don't feel like that would be great. But I would follow it every day, and anything that tried to interrupt it, which could be daily tasks, out to dinner, friends, family, anything, I would be completely against it, and it would not happen because I would not allow it to happen. Because life was not worth living. Life wasn't worth living, but my eating disorder was. Life was foreign to me. I didn't know what it felt like to not have an eating disorder, because of course I didn't have it in the past, but it had taken over my life. It had taken over my brain. It had taken over my memories. I didn't care about life anymore. I only cared about anorexia. And though I thought I was being successful and achieving my goals by getting skinny, it was awful. It was fruitless and it was miserable. I was chasing down a life that I thought was a life. But now, coming into this new stage of life, I'm shocked. Shocked is not a word that can fully grasp what I feel about life now. It's like I'm mad. I was living a lie. Like I had a blindfold on and I couldn't see what life was. And now the blindfold is off and I can live. And I want that so badly for you guys, because I get comments and I just want you guys to experience life, because the eating disorder lies to you. It tells you that you are experiencing life and you're experiencing all facets of the human experience, but you're not. You're living a lie. It's telling you lies. And for that, I'm sorry. Recovery isn't something that you just need because of your health, although it is imperative that you recover, because we're damaging our bodies every day. Every day that we restrict and starve, we're damaging another part of us. It's necessary to live, to enjoy life, to not think about suicide and pray for it to be over. Things have so much more meaning now. You don't have to think about food constantly. Doors just open. I honestly did not expect this video to go this way. I did not prepare for it, but I feel like the rituals are just something that made me the most miserable, just because every day was a routine that was monotonous and stupid and killing me. And I know that you guys are doing the same thing. And I just want you to know that life isn't supposed to be like that. Life isn't supposed to be leaving from the next hour from 1 hour to the next. It's supposed to be so much more full. So I'm gonna go. I am going to update you a little bit about my thesis. I finished research this semester, so this Christmas break I am writing my paper, and it'll be at least 20 pages, and I am just starting page 6. So yeah, I'm on the endocrine changes right now. I just finished that. Next is skeletal changes and dangers. And it's very eye-opening, and I'm excited to have that knowledge in my head, because I've researched it and I know it's just something different when you type it out. I'm having a little trouble at home. Home is definitely a big trigger for me, and I've been experiencing thoughts that I haven't had for a couple months. And I'm having trouble with my body image, but everything will pass. I know that this is just a brief interruption, and I know that I can handle it. Things will get better. Routines will go away. We'll be okay. I'll see you guys later. Bye.